There is a certain kind of silence that follows a Kirby Smart move. Not the silence of comfort, not the silence of peace, the silence before a door gets kicked open in the SEC. Georgia didn't just add another running back, Georgia added Josh McCray, a former Illinois bruiser, a grown man runner, a body built for fourth quarters, cold weather, short yardage violence, and the kind of football that makes linebackers hesitate before stepping into the hole. And when you put McCray next to the brutal recruiting narrative already forming around Valdin Sone, the massive defensive monster Georgia pulled into its future, the picture starts to look different. This does not feel like Kirby Smart chasing flash. This feels like Kirby building weight. Weight on the line of scrimmage, weight in the trenches, weight in the backfield, weight on Alabama, weight on Texas, weight on every SEC defensive coordinator who thought Georgia was becoming too modern, too finesse, too dependent on spreading people out. Because maybe the next version of Georgia football is not about being pretty. Maybe it is about being terrifying again. Maybe Kirby Smart looked at the SEC, looked at the transfer portal, looked at the future playoff race, and decided that the next Georgia dynasty would not be built with noise, it would be built with monsters. And Josh McCray might be the next one. Josh McCray does not enter this story like a luxury piece. He enters like a warning. A transfer running back from Illinois, McCray brings a different kind of energy into Athens. He is not the tiny change of pace back who needs space to survive. He is not just a highlight runner looking for open grass. He is a physical back, the kind of runner who can make a clean tackle look complicated and make a tired defense start making business decisions in the second half. That matters because Georgia football has always been at its most frightening when the opponent knows what is coming and still cannot stop it. For years, the Bulldogs were not just winning because they had talent, they were winning because they imposed a psychological tax. Every snap felt expensive, every drive felt heavy, every defensive front had to survive body blows before even thinking about the fourth quarter. And now, with McCray coming through the transfer portal, Kirby Smart may be sending a message that Georgia wants that edge back. According to Dawg Nation, McCray entered the transfer portal on April 15th and committed to Georgia on April 20th, after leading Illinois in rushing the previous season with 609 yards and 10 touchdowns. That timeline matters because it was fast, direct, and surgical. No long drama, no endless mystery. McCray entered the portal, Georgia moved, and suddenly a Big Ten team's most productive power back was wearing red and black. According to 24/7 Sports, McCray had only one known transfer visit, and that visit was to Georgia. That is the part that feels very Kirby Smart. Controlled, quiet, efficient. No circus, no public desperation, just a targeted move for a specific kind of weapon. And the specific kind of weapon is important. McCray is not just a running back, he is a tone setter, a physical runner who can turn ordinary downs into emotional problems for a defense. A back who fits the idea that Georgia may be preparing to punish teams again, not just outscore them. Because the SEC is changing. Texas is here. Alabama is trying to reinvent itself. Tennessee wants speed. Ole Miss wants chaos. The entire conference is moving toward fireworks, spacing, tempo, and offensive illusion. But Kirby Smart has never been just another coach following the fashion of the moment. His most dangerous teams have always had something darker underneath the surface: discipline, depth, violence, and a refusal to let opponents breathe. That's why Josh McCray feels bigger than a portal addition. He feels like evidence. Evidence that Georgia may be rebuilding the identity of the run game. Evidence that Kirby wants a backfield capable of draining clocks, breaking fronts, and forcing rivals to defend every inch like a street fight. And then there's Valdin Sone. Sone is not part of the running back room. He is a defensive line monster. But symbolically, he belongs in the same conversation because Sone represents the same idea: size, force, intimidation, and future trench dominance. According to Georgia's official athletic profile, Valdin Sone is listed at 6'4" and 300 pounds, a 4-star defensive line prospect with international roots coming from Sweden, developed through Blue Ridge School and carrying the kind of physical profile Georgia has turned into championship infrastructure. That's the terrifying pattern. McCray on offense, Sone on defense. Different positions, same philosophy. Kirby Smart is not just collecting players, he may be collecting pressure. And pressure is what breaks the SEC. Before we go deeper, Dawg Nation, hit that like button and subscribe to Bulldog Nation News. Moves like this are not random, and the more this channel grows, the more we can keep breaking down the hidden strategy behind Kirby Smart's roster construction, the portal moves, the recruiting monsters, and the silent threats forming in Athens before the national media wakes up.
Here is where the story gets colder, because the McCray move is not just about vibes. It is not just about saying Georgia added a big back and hoping people feel the danger. The numbers give the story weight. According to Dawg Nation, Josh McCray finished his final season at Illinois with 117 carries, 609 rushing yards, and 10 rushing touchdowns. According to Sports Illustrated's Georgia coverage, that production came in 2024, when McCray averaged more than 5 yards per carry and gave Illinois a physical rushing identity. According to ESPN, McCray was part of the transfer group Georgia landed, along with Army outside linebacker Elo Matazi and Miami defensive lineman Josh Horton, showing that Kirby Smart was not just shopping for depth, he was reinforcing specific pressure points on the roster. And the 10 touchdowns matter most, because touchdowns reveal trust. A coaching staff does not keep giving goal line and red zone touches to a back it does not believe can finish. McCray was not just moving the ball between the 20s, he was ending drives. He was converting physical opportunities into points. That is exactly the kind of back Georgia can weaponize. Think about what this means inside the SEC. When Georgia has a physical running back who can punish light boxes, the entire offense changes. Play action becomes heavier, third and short becomes less fragile, red zone football becomes more direct. Defensive coordinators have to bring bodies down, safeties hesitate, linebackers step forward, and that's when Georgia starts creating the kind of offensive stress that doesn't always show up immediately on a stat sheet. It shows up when a defense is late. It shows up when a linebacker takes one bad angle. It shows up when a safety lowers his shoulder in the first quarter, then thinks twice in the fourth. That's the dark beauty of a physical back. He doesn't need to embarrass you on one play. He can change how you behave over 60 minutes. And for Georgia, that's the deeper point. McCray does not have to become the entire offense to become dangerous. He doesn't need 25 carries every Saturday to matter. He needs Georgia a different body type, a different finishing tool, a different fourth quarter personality. If Nate Frazier brings explosiveness, if Georgia's passing game stretches the field, if the offensive line grows into its identity, then McCray becomes the hammer hidden behind the curtain, the one Kirby pulls out when the game gets ugly. And championship football always gets ugly. That's what rivals should fear. Not that Josh McCray alone changes everything, but that Josh McCray might be one more piece of a much larger Kirby Smart construction project, a roster built to become physically unbearable again. Look at the theme. McCray comes from Illinois with Big Ten punishment on his resume. Sone comes into Georgia's future as a massive defensive line body with international upside and trench violence written all over his profile. The Bulldogs are not just adding stars, they are adding mass, they are adding collision, they are adding the kind of players who make November football feel like a survival test. And this is where the Army of Giants question becomes real. Because Kirby Smart has watched the college football world shift around him. He has seen NIL change recruiting. He has seen the portal change roster building. He has seen the playoff expand. He has seen rivals try to copy Georgia's model while also trying to outrun it. So maybe Kirby's answer is not to copy them back. Maybe his answer is to make Georgia heavier, deeper, nastier, and harder to kill. A program that can beat you with speed when it needs to, but when the moment gets tense, when the stadium gets loud, when the season is on the line, Georgia can still put a monster behind the quarterback and ask the same old brutal question: can you stop us when you already know what's coming? That's why Josh McCray matters. Not because he's being crowned before taking over the SEC, but because his commitment fits a darker Georgia pattern. A pattern where Kirby Smart is quietly stacking bodies built for violence, pressure, and control. A pattern where the Bulldogs are preparing not just to win games, but to make rivals feel trapped inside them. So now the question becomes this: is Josh McCray just another transfer portal addition, or did Kirby Smart just reveal the next monster in Georgia's new ground war? Dawg Nation, drop your answer in the comments, and if you believe Kirby is building something bigger, darker, and more dangerous than the SEC realizes, subscribe to Bulldog Nation News and hit the like button. Your support helps us keep producing more Georgia Bulldogs content, more recruiting breakdowns, more portal analysis, and more stories about the silent moves that could shape the next Bulldog dynasty.